Okay. How's everyone doing? Good to see all you. Bear with me today. I've got audio settings and stuff to adjust now that I have like earbuds that aren't on the verge of breaking because the ones that were broke during Saturday streams. So if I seem alarmed by my game audio sometimes, it's because I can actually hear more of it now. anyway, anyway, there I am. I look almost as tired as I feel. How we doing, everybody? Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Got plenty of rest, stayed cool, etc. For once, it is actually not hot here today. It's very rainy and miserable, but I'll take it. How we doing? Erconia, Roddy, Gage, Rune, Reckless Monster, Loading Screen, Sen, Shay, Wildcast, Pup T. Good to see everybody. So. Um, I have like two build concepts that I've been gearing out that I didn't quite get ready for stream because I kind of just didn't spend much time working on them uh, last night. I just didn't feel like doing that. But we can farm towards those while also farming up that armor that I want for the hammer throw build. I do still want a couple of options there. Options are good. Hey Rohit, how you doing? Yes, Pup T. Um, so we're gonna do some farming today. I also should probably take the opportunity for this week's featured before it goes to learn the crystal containers and quartz in the couple rooms I'm not super familiar with. So maybe we do a bit of that. Maybe we do some excessive amounts of boss runs as per usual. I don't know. We're just gonna have some chill farming. Chill farming. Doing good. Farmed right now for the next DLC after I got all the stuff I need so far for the build of the next class. How are you? I'm doing well, Gage. I'm doing well. I'm a little sore because I was productive yesterday. I went and walked to the store and got some things I wanted. I'm trying to force myself to not have super long periods of inactivity anymore. It's an uphill battle, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So I'm a little sore today. It's like, I don't know, it's like half a mile there, half a mile back. Okay, let me turn this down just a little bit. I turned up my source volume, so this should like cancel out for you guys. Cool. What's the build? If you remind me in the loot room, I will go over everything about it for you. But the gist of it is that we throw hammers on Clawbringer. We use the hammer throwing action skill and the spell that throws a hammer. We pump as much damage into those things as possible. Because it's funny. Alchemical hammers, yep. Ah yes, the build. Reminder. God damn it, son, we doing this again? How you doing? Cat, what's your problem? Hey Moogirl, how are you? I still need a better pickaxe and snake stick for my hammer zerker. No luck. Did get a primordial cryo banshee with echo though. That's sick. That's pretty good. Black, brown, olive, green, or leopard print. Let's go with brown. Let's go with brown. Ducky Dino, what are you doing? Thank you so much for the 20 gifted. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you. As always, just unnecessarily generous, but it's always appreciated. Thank you so much. 151 on the channel, another 20. You just got gifted a sub by Ducky Dino. Please show them some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At a roadblock, my Sorcerer Frostwilder at 36. Waster and Driller, my boss from 32, 36. It's frustrating. Oh, cool. So this is a good time for me to explain some strategies. That alert is that's gonna be going a while. So some strategies you can use against Drill. Keep in mind, in his second phase, any damage you do before this first heal is wasted, so don't bother. Unless you're setting up debuffs. Now, I'm just gonna wait entirely until he's closer, for my own convenience. And gives me more time to talk. The biggest thing with these attacks is do not get hit. Drill does not have a single attack that you can't just kind of strafe out of the way. Now, in terms of when you're actually fighting him, he's gonna do his healing thing, like that. And then, right after, that's when you want to capitalize. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the phase he's in will tell you his elemental resistances. In phase 2, where his name is Whose Blood is Thunder, he resists lightning. So, I am kind of having an uphill battle right now using lightning, considering he resists it. But I have enough damage that it still works. And the thing you want to do is run back and forth here, and it minimizes the damage you take. And you just keep chipping away.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Now, if you end up having to go through this part of the fight, keep in mind that the most dangerous part is the ads. So even Drill's attacks don't really hit you very hard, it's the ads. So you want to keep those as cleared out as possible. And don't be afraid to step in the spicy water if it would stop you from taking even more damage. So like, if I get hit by that spear, that's going to really hurt. But if I take 2 steps in the purple water, that only hurts a little bit.
On fire. There you go, Quack.
And that's the hard phase. Then in phase 3, it just goes back to, he doesn't really do much to defend himself, but he'll have a fire resistance instead. Which works out better for me.
tmi.twitch.tv/usernotice#tbj_quag.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Yes. Good job, text-to-speech. I don't know what that was. Oh, thank you so much again, Ducky Dino.
She's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Remember I said I'd sometimes be distracted by the audio? The alert's a lot louder for me now.
She's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Hey Al, how you doing? Good Wolf, Arconium, Glenny. Glenny, you totally should do that BL3 thing you were talking about. Totally should.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. There you go, Quack.
I don't know why, but lately I have some trouble with killing Drill fast on my Cho'Monger. It's weird because they used to come faster. Maybe I changed something in my gear that I don't remember. Could be. Could be.
She's just a girl and she's
could be your
fire.
perception of time changing as you play. Chat. While I have all of your attention, let me redirect it to something more attention-worthy.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Please, go follow...
I'm only here to remind you clean your room. There's a bed in the way.
There is a bed in the way. I'll make sure to take care of that, Irish. Thank you for the 4 months. But yeah, everyone go follow Glenny. He's just a wonderful human being who's very talented at what he does, whether that be theory crafting or just giving a shit about his fellow human being. If you didn't catch Glenny's stream yesterday, it was just a really good vibes location. We had a lot of important talks about mental health and friendships and just positivity and it was a lot of deep talks, as tends to happen with Glenny, because he just gives a shit about people. Also, he's a very talented theory crafter. He's branching out into playing some of the builds he didn't have much opportunity to play during BL3's like main life cycle due to being on console. He's on PC now, so he's playing all sorts of cool builds and has got the theory crafting itch for BL3. So make sure you go and support that. Yeah, Shay, good recommendation. Fortifying Sigil, definitely good for that. Spore Warden viable at 50. Is unnecessary struggle. Haven't leveled an alt yet. So the thing with Spore Warden is it's kind of the... I don't really believe in ranking things because I think it's pretty reductive. It doesn't leave... It doesn't give context to anything. But if you were to rank Fate Maker trees based on class, there is no universe in which Spore Warden isn't 6th. So currently, yes, Spore Warden is the weakest of the classes, but that does not mean it's not viable. It's got some very desirable damage options, some very nice quality of life things, such as being the only class with ammo regen in tree and mag size in tree. You've got the second most movement speed. You've got a lot of fire rate. And you've just got solid output with your guns, plus the ability to turn your single-target guns into multi-target guns. But in terms of the things that are super desirable in Spore Warden tree, there's fewer tricks. Let's put it that way. Its thing is pretty much, hey, gun. And everything else about it's a little on the subpar side, whereas other classes can also do gun, but they have other talents, if that makes sense. But every single class in this game is far above the level of power it actually needs to clear this game's content. So even Spore Warden being the weakest of the classes, it's still more powerful than it necessarily needs to be. So you can absolutely make it work and have fun with it. Hey Cheeky, how you doing? Dill, good to see you. Senna, hope you're well. The problem with Spore's action skills. Action skills, also the tree just doesn't give you much in terms of survivability, and the things it gives damage to are either gun or companion. The one ability damage skill does not count for this because it is so minor in the grand scheme of things. But like, it's very particular in what it wants you to do, which I would consider a disadvantage if you're weird like me and, you know, can't decide what you want to do. Hey Blizzard, how you doing? Good morning. Yakumers, good to see you. Hope you're well. First character of Spore and haven't touched it in months. Same, actually, to both. Both bits of that. Built properly, Frostwilder can be very strong. Yeah, everything can be. Fought Drill and I think Chaos 17 last night, took some time, didn't die, it just took me some time to kill him. Yeah. Doing good, finished Stray another weekend, finally got around to starting Cyberpunk. Ooh, how you liking it so far? Cyberpunk is one of those games that I hear about anyone enjoying it for the first time. I'm like, I could do another playthrough. So, anyone who's having trouble with Wastard, keep in mind that I just took a lot of cover there, and his attacks couldn't hit me, and it allowed me to maintain my uptime on him. A lot of hours in Cyberpunk, hope they had more things. Yeah, they never did do that expansion that they said they were gonna do. I'm just kind of... They've been pretty quiet. I hope they do that. Because it's a fun game. I just want more game. Here to Bereaver tips, try and use the wormhole gun. Throwable hole. So throwable hole, the passive ticks while it's out and not over yet are gun damage, but then the end explosion is spell damage. So getting the most out of throwable hole pretty much requires some stuff that synergizes particularly with spells. Things like blast gasp or double knot or just having a lot of spell damage. And you can, with Bereaver, you can get the spell damage and blast gasp. So making sure you have those will definitely help it. Another good thing in general, not necessarily related to the throwable hole thing, but Bereaver is one of the tankiest, if not the tankiest, multi-class you can do, because Berserker gets you the biggest health bar, Graveborn gets you the second biggest health bar, and then Graveborn gets you the most active healing, while Berserker gets you the most passive healing. So you're just very hard to kill with that multi-class. Your damage won't be as spectacular as, say, like a Chillmonger or something, but, like, you're very hard to kill. Monday Moida lands. You know it, New Mexican. How you doing? Okay, this is like the kind of this is the kind of roll I want. I don't want it on this armor, and obviously I would want a Chaos tier, but this is what I'm looking out for. Claw primary for the class power is good. Stabo secondary is good because the crit chance from the Stabo class feat. This rolled 2 Nimble Fingers. I like it. It's spell damage. I am using a spell blade to boost my hammer throw. And it rolled spell damage on the bottom. So this tried really hard. I'm not going to pick it up, but this is the kind of thing I'm looking for in armors at the moment. So no info on Black Collar and anticipation, what do you think it'll be? There's minimal info. That what is known is available on their website. We know it's a shaman type thing. You can summon poison, storms, and spirits, which we can maybe infer those are action skills, those last 2 things. I have no real predictions. I just want it to play meaningfully differently than other classes. That's my hope. That's my expectation there. We were told that the next episode of the Wondercast on August 11th, which is 10 days from now, because it's August, we'll be getting DLC 4 info, so hopefully we get more concrete Blight Caller info then. Morning, Urban Mech. How you doing? Finally found something to use with Graveborn for melee build. Stabomancer with Livewire. So Grave Stabo together with Livewire? Yeah, I mean, that'll work. Livewire will just be good for swinging a melee weapon, yeah. Speaking of Spore, working on Spores for gun builds, we're taking play the angles, or just get Wrath of Nature and spend time on other points, get something like 1 slot 1 kill. If you're doing a gun build and you have Spore Warden, I would highly recommend going to play the angles, because taking Spore Warden tree without play the angles further cements least valuable skill tree in the game. Because if you're taking it for Wrath of Nature, keep in mind that Stabomancer can get the exact same effect, but more relevant to single targets, with fewer skill points invested, and with access to better action skills and a better early skill tree, allowing you to take more of your spell shot tree. Spore Warden doesn't really get super desirable unless you completely fill out tiers 5 and 6, and even then, tiers 5 and 6 are really only applicable to gun builds. So you gotta go all in. That's good old Quang aim. Oh, that was a good throw. I'm gonna let you hit me. That didn't stop you? Huh. You're welcome, Shay. Started using your Frost Shiver build, having an absolute blast with it. Fresh way to play. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Good Wolf. Truly. That's awesome to hear. I only miss Mushroom and I'm not Spore Warden. Revive is very helpful. The Revive is pretty nice. Definitely nice. I would have to say, though... of course this would be Ascended. It's too awkward. I'd have to say, though, that I prefer Graveborn and Berserkers, like, survivability equivalents. Berserker just being able to stay down longer. Graveborn just simply almost never going down. And those are things that don't require a pet. So I prefer the consistency there, personally. But it is hard to go from, like, being very used to having the Mushroom reviving you to not having that as an option at all. Totally get you there. Oh yeah, if you ever want extra crystals after a nightmare fight, just make sure you kill the wall wraiths, because you just get more crystals.
She's just a girl and
Hey.
she's on fire.
Chef Rosander, please tell me if I got that right, by the way. Thank you for gifting a sub out to the community. I really appreciate that. Not necessary, but it really does go a long way. Thank you so much. Primordial Salt and Battery, it's absolutely amazing. Salt and Battery is arguably the highest DPS thing in the entire game. Seriously, it's just that good. Like, I would say, on average, if you compare guns to melee to spells, if we had to put them in order in terms of, like, average power, at endgame, at C50, intense difficulty, with, like, a decent build, melee is taking the #1 spot. Melee is just that good, and I mean actually swinging your melee weapon. And then, I would say it would be contentious between guns and spells. But yeah, melee's taking that top spot. Melee's so crazy in this game. It really just gives you a lot of ways to get strong. But if you could combine Salt Battery and Spellblade to match the damage, I mean, technically speaking, I don't know if anyone's ever tried this, but you could probably spawn the Salt and Battery Dagger Storm and then equip the Spellblade in your menu. Like, there's no reason to do so, but you probably could. Melee's so fun, just hate that I can't do Imelda very well and a few others. Yeah. I try to avoid Imelda on most of my melee setups for that reason. Although that does enhance the value of things like Executioner's Blade. I dunked on Executioner's Blade a lot very early on. But the more health enemies have gotten, and the more bosses we've gotten that aren't quite friendly to regular meleeing, the more the value of this skill has gone up, to the point where 2 of my 6 C50 builds, so 2 of my 5 Stabbo builds at C50 take Executioner's Blade. My Dreadwind setup and my regular melee swing setup both take it. Which melee weapon's the best? Single answer, too many options. It really depends on what you need it for, Senna. You can narrow it down to a couple, depending on purpose. Like, if you want a melee weapon that's going to help you with passive buffs for your gun build, then there's like 3 or 4 options. There's like 4 options. If you want one for raw DPS, then there's like 5 different options. There's 2 that are very hard to beat in a general sense, those being in order Salt and Battery followed by Wailing Banshee, but there's still wiggle room. I think that's one of the things that keeps melee interesting. Goblin, Salt and Battery, Wailing Banshee, all solid options to build around. Yeah, and then you've got Twin Soul and Spellblade being capable of holding their own in that category as well. Pan is best for its satisfying sound. The pan sound is pretty great. Okay, we got a Tyrant's Truth. A Spell one. This is the armor I'm looking out for primarily. But not great rolls there. Let's go again. Snack Stick. Snack Stick's one of my favorites. Yeah, I use that in my Ghostblade build. All your opinions have changed in the beginning. Shadow Ghostblade at first, and look at you now. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's proof that even people who try consciously to avoid it, like myself, can sometimes make up their mind about an item or interaction or something before giving it a proper chance. So always, 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 always go out and test something. Or, confer with people who have tested the thing. Get a better sample size than looking at an item and writing it off. It's just good policy. Hi, Sora. I'm scrolling and I read that message and I'm not reading that out loud, but hi. You just want to try spinning. Morning, Grost. How you doing? I want to do something with greatest spell ever. I just keep forgetting to actually go get a good one. How are you today? I'm doing well. I'm a little sore. I went out walking yesterday, and my body's annoyed at me, but it's manageable. It's manageable. Other than that, I'm doing well. It's not super hot today, which I think is a very, very welcome exception for a dreary day like this. I don't know if you guys can see, it's a little darker in my room right now. Like, the curtains are open and everything. It's just dark out. But hey, if that's what I gotta deal with to have the temperature down like this, I'll take it. Morning, Natas. How you doing? Plus things change with patches, so something yes might be shitty at first doesn't mean it always will be. Right, Ghostblade got a buff early on, for example. Executioner's Blade also got a buff. You have to keep your bank full just because of everything it can do or come up with. Yeah. Often when I have a build concept I want to try out, my bank being pretty much always full is what allows me to test so quickly, because I don't need to go farm the stuff, because I already have it. Ghostblade's probably my favorite action skill. I've been loving Dire Sac for mobbing. It's just so satisfying. Dire Sacrifice is so ridiculously satisfying. The animation, the sound design, just like they definitely did something different with that one. It's just so enjoyable. That was a good throw. Sorry you couldn't melee Drill's arms at launch. You could. Just people didn't have the practice at it. Just like how, for example, Drill and Wastard haven't gotten easier. They just haven't, other than their damage output shrank this past week. People simply got better at dealing with them. That's all. Blizzard, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Dire Sac so fun, can't do 50 with it though. Lazy's been using a Dire Sac build that's been working out actually. You gotta be willing to take some altar blessings for that max, get the max ward, which will then go through unarmored defense and convert. Getting Trust and Magic from Butt Stallion, or not from Butt Stallion, from Dragonlord also helps. And then being a Bereaver is the biggest thing with that. Yeah. Yeah, you can make it work, just not really against bosses too well. You can get some good damage in mobbing, at least. On Lurk, have to have a brief call with potential clients and curate my mails for professors for PhD application. Best of luck there, Rohit. I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering. I played a little while. Sword Explosion still OP. Regardless, glad to see you're still playing and enjoying. Yeah, Lonely Star. I'm still having a great time. Sword Explosion, completely untouched. Still great. Still great. Still, the highest DPS, sustained DPS among single target guns, like traditional guns. So if you're using it for that purpose, it'll still serve you well. Can Feral Surge work at C50? I've not tried Feral Surge out at C50 yet, Irish. That's on my to-do list. After intense thought, I discovered a level 40 enchanted assault battery is slightly better than the white rarity level 1 I execute at the start. I mean, I'm gonna have to see your sample size there, Good Wolf, but I think that's a sound conclusion. That was a good throw. Making my way downtown, being fast, eating ass, having fun, shooting gun. I feel like some of those weren't in the original song, but I could vibe to it. I've been considering if I want an Echo Spellblade instead of this, I'm pretty sure I have Warrior right now. Because, like, Warrior's nice for the damage reduction. And, of course, it's simply more damage. But Echo would kind of let me stack up dots on enemies and then go ham. Another melee Tyrant's Truth, but Burst Spell Shot, Running so much boss rush this week, glad they put it in. It's such a good format to have. Just bite-sized runs, large proportion of loot to time spent. Just good for stress testing builds. Boss rush is a great example of them listening to the community about something they want and just being like, oh, okay, here you go. What that armor mod say? That was a Tyrant's Truth. It's a DLC 3 one. Basically, you lose any class companions you have, but for each one you lose, you get a 35% bonus to either spell, melee, or gun, depending on what the armor rolled. And the spell and melee boosts are not conventional spell and melee. They're in different categories than the normal boost, so it gives them a little more weight. I really played since launch, was wondering how does starting class affect multiclass. For example, starting Clawbringer and multiclassing Stabbo instead of starting Stabbo and multiclassing Clawbringer. No change. The only thing that changes is you can change your second class, but not your first. Other than that, it doesn't matter. With the crystal event, I'm getting 7 to 8k crystals per run. Yeah, that's a good chunk. That is a very good chunk. You can do a lot with that. Wish they would just let you change the first class and you've done a bunch of cast levels. Doesn't affect the story at all at that point. I think the entire reason they don't let you do that is because then people just wouldn't do playthroughs. And the experience of doing a playthrough... Also, pain, Fyodor. The experience of doing a playthrough and learning your class abilities as you go is an enjoyable one for me, at least. Definitely do a new playthrough when Blight comes out, and maybe I'll learn keyboard and mouse for this game. Maybe. Ooh. Lenny getting saucy. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to find that Storm Dragon's Judgment is one of the few action skills you can use consistently in the Fyodor fight on the Soul Cells. He says right before it fails him on one of the Soul Cells. But for the most part, it's consistent. Optional collectibles throughout the story, permanent buffs like loot dice, very important for endgame. I'm doing that on multiple characters, sounds a bit tedious. It depends on how much you value the buffs. So if you look over here, you've got the shrine buffs here. You get these individual buffs for getting each of the shrines. But then for finishing out sets of collectibles, you get more stuff. Obviously the loot luck is from the dice, but you get strength from the marbles, dexterity from the rune switches, intelligence from the poems, constitution from the obelisks, wisdom from all of the shrines, and then attunement from bottle caps. Now, the bottle caps and the shrines are very easy to get. The obelisks are also very easy to get. The poems aren't bad if you know where they are. Only like 2 of them require side quests, 3 of them. The rune switches aren't bad either. It's just a little time consuming. The marbles are probably the most tedious to get of them. Now, I've not personally bothered with those on this character just because I didn't feel the need, but it's a good chunk of stats. If you want to get stronger without requiring gear, it's something you can do to either future-proof or when you find yourself struggling. But yeah, loot dice in particular are account-wide. They made that change about a month in. Load a Berserker recently since Burr, Blight, Collar most likely be a serviceable class combo. Yeah, good instincts trade secret. Burr is probably the most solid skill tree in the game. It's the best all-rounder, yeah. It doesn't have, you know, the brute forcing with big number that Spellshot does, but it just covers so many bases. Hey, Ferolio, how you doing? What do you want the Blight Collar to focus on? You want a mix of everything? I don't really want it to focus on anything, Glenny. I just wanted to do something meaningfully different gameplay-wise. Like, I want to have a different playstyle open up from Blight Collar existing. So not just like, hey, this stat is big. I want it to be something thought-provoking. You know how, like, all my melee builds go around Alchemical Agent because having a dot that powerful that's exclusive to melee is just so enjoyable to me? Something like that. Not that specifically, of course, but, like, the same concept of, hey, you're really good at this thing that no one else offers. I don't want big stat like Spellshot. If that makes sense. Get that. Lately I've been enjoying Amara, and Stone's Amara build forced me to use my potato brain. His builds are good like that, yeah. Definitely vouch for Stone Swan's builds. I'm actually liking Amara. Amara's fun. You get more DLC currency doing Phase 4 versus 1. No. No, you don't. There's no advantage other than Theodore's dedicated pool gets bigger. There's no advantage. It's pretty sad. I have Marshmallow with Ghostblade enchant. There's a crazy amount of differences available. I do wish the armor's weighted a bit towards your class. I've been C50 for a while, but I'm put in about 220k crystals, get a primordial amalgam for my class. No success can get disheartening. Yes and no. So, we did have that mini-event, which I hope comes back, where they did increase weighting towards your class, Grasshopper, and overall armor drop rate as well. It was good, it was well received, well enough to be a permanent feature. But the thing with how classes work in this game is often you will find yourself running a class combo or using an interaction where you don't necessarily care about the secondary class power, or even the primary, where the skills are more important. So often you'll end up running a class combo where your class isn't the primary one. So if they were to weight it towards your class as the primary, for example, then it would make getting the desirable combo a little harder. So it's devil's advocate, of course, but it's not quite that simple. I think variance in general on armor stats could just come down. Like, we didn't need to have companion crit chance on armor, for example. It's just not a useful stat. There's a couple stats that are just kind of diluting the pool. But generally, I do agree with you that acquiring armor you're after is very punishing. That's something that was noticed with class mods in Borderlands 3, and that issue has only compounded, really. Alright, what do we got this time? I'm glad you guys are having a good time over there. I have no idea what's happening, but you keep being you. See, the stats in this amalgam aren't bad. Gun damage, area damage is always good to see together, especially at Primordial. Ward capacity doesn't do much for that, and then the actual skills, because Lord of Edges, Arsenal, and Sneak Attack are 3 of the best examples of skills that are kind of peacocking. They don't have nearly as much value as they pretend to. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, Tyrus Truth, Graveborn power, Spell Shot power as well, area damage, spell damage. Okay, this is a really good Tyrant's Truth. Like, obviously it's a shame it doesn't have, say, Blast Gas, or, you know, whatever. But, because different skill thing. But 2 Ascension. 2 Ascension is a lot of spell damage. Taking that. That's like the first really good one I've gotten. Is that new armor? Yeah, that's from DLC 3, Glenny. Kevin, what are you doing? Cat. Cat. Come cat over here. Wish the weighted armor event would return? Yeah. They've been kind of rotating through the events. We've gotten the crystal one twice now. So hopefully that means the armor one has come back soon. Never get an armor with any more than 1 point in Ascension. There's some skills that seem to elude me as well. Ascension isn't one of them for me personally, but yeah. Hey, Silent. Thank you so much for the 7 months. I appreciate it. We were talking about BL3 earlier. You missed that bit.
She's on fire. There you go, Quack.
Quag leave, quag leave, quag leave.
But I don't want to leave. I'm here. Thank you so much, Silent. I appreciate it. Where's Quag stay? Want DLC 3 items and the bunnies, but I don't want Fyodor in the chamber. Yeah. Yeah. At least if you get Fyodor 1 or 2, it's kind of just free. 3 and 4 is when it gets chaotic. Pasta from Sora. Not a lot of people here talking about the best thing Spore Warden has to offer. The one that makes even the most devoted spell shot player jealous. The Mushroom. Only the Spore Warden gets access to the walking thick phallus morale booster that can revive any dead ally and redirect focus to itself by ripping the nastiest ass in the whole Wonderlands. Okay, Sora. Okay. Well done. Well done. Yeah. I like it. Those are words on my screen. Get a chance at money's what's your gun? Oh yeah, I was supposed to go over spec earlier. Someone asked. I have terrible memory. Yeah, I can go over. Currently what I'm holding is a Scalawag. It's one of my favorite stat sticks for melee builds because it's a crossbow barrel weapon that can also roll a blade. So we can apply melee crossbolts, which are a fresh multiplier for our melee formula, meaning they are very impactful, but we can also have that 25% blade for some extra melee damage simply for holding the gun, even if we haven't applied the crossbolts. Plus, it's capable of rolling in any element, so we can use this fire one to keep the fire half of our awe skill triggered, for example. Gunbolt separate multiplier? Yes. Yes, they are. Hey, we crit him. Yeah, don't let me forget this time. I'm supposed to go over build in loot room. I always forget. Using for healing, just body rune? Yeah. Just body rune at the moment. It is simply that good. Does Mushroom revive any ally? I don't know. I don't play enough co-op to know that. For triggering auto, you get 2 separate instances of the skill and using lightning and fire. So if you look at your buff bar, all will have up to like a ×2 on it to indicate how many parts of it are active. It won't tell you which is which, but like you'll have either just the all icon or all icon with a 2 on it or nothing. Oh. Indomitable tried to save me. Unfortunately, Vorkanar is not player-proof. I should really just do this more.
She's on fire.
Hey, Piker. Thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Grab the health files over here. Alright, I was a little better on that half. Hey Kyler, how you doing? I see Glenny found the announcement thing. Yeah. That is a thing. Try to keep it quiet. You're all good. Control's favorite secret is out now. Something cool to keep in mind with using Storm Dragon's Judgment, that's my hammer throw action skill here, is the melee portion is capable of hitting 3 times. You get 1 on the way there, you get 1 when it hits whatever you threw it at, and stops, and then you get 1 on the return path. So you could potentially hit every enemy in your path 3 times. And that's pretty nice. Hey Stone Swan, how you doing? Oh no. Gotta wait for text-to-speech to do this one, huh? Because you're a fucking gentleman, Glenny? True. Secret mods features are being spoiled. You get him, Notashby. You tell him. You tell him to stop spilling. Mods? Text-to-speech? Hey, Pupty. Nabbing that quag ball emote. Love to see it. And any quag ballers in the chat? Any quag ballers? It'll happen eventually.
Not a lot of people are talking about the best thing that TBJ_Quag has to offer, besides his smarts and talents, the one that makes even the most devout Borderlands and Wonderlands player jealous, his cats. Only the TBJ_Quag gets access to the walking,
Aww. What? I'm so disappointed. I guess I'll finish it. Walking, trotting, meowing, hairball hacking, lovable plump felines that can make any person's cold and dead heart full of warmth and can redirect focus from the stream to its cute little meows. I'm sure text to speech would have butchered meow, but damn. I love when cats go tra. Me too. What is the what does the fox say?
I believe there's a Kevin near you.
What does the fox say? I don't know, but the cat says tra. Apparently. My ass. Wait. Quack dump quack truck. Yeah, Storm Dragon's Judgment against Phase 2 Nightmare is just brutal. And it's not got a lot of health, and that elemental matchup, it's juicy. It's the biggest and juiciest. Okay, I'm supposed to go over the build and stuff. So, Storm Dragon's Judgment, and we take the Clawbringer tree all the way down to 1 in Indomitable and 2 in Awe. I believe 2 in Awe. Yeah, 2 in Awe. 3 in Awe is more damage, obviously, but having the safety net of Indomitable, especially on Clawstalker, a class that doesn't have a lot of survivability, is quite nice. And that leaves us exactly enough points to get down to our favorite Alchemical Agent. The reminder chain. Love to see it. Thank you, Kyler. Alchemical Agent is just one of the best damage dealing skills in the entire game. We have Contagion to support and spread it. Spread it. Then we have Exploit Their Weakness for just good damage against anything that has a dot applied. Potent Poisons, enhancing our dots, etc., etc. We're using a Spellblade right now. To apply our spell damage as conditional damage to our hammer throws, so having more points in Nimble Fingers over here really helps that out, and that's why we have the single point in Arsenal, because it would be more impactful than a point in Swift Death, which is a bad skill, a point in Follow Up, which is very situational, and because we have a Spellblade, which is conditional damage, Follow Up provides a conditional damage boost, it'd be very redundant. Sneak Attack is a bad skill, 1,000 Cuts is only worth taking if you are moving to Executioner's Blade, which we're not. So, 1 point Arsenal. Alchemical Agent, best skill or bestest skill? More bestererist. And the Claw Tree, I suppose a decision that might look odd is I have 3 Rebuke here, and it's just because Dedication has minimal impact on a skill that already has a base cooldown, if you recall it immediately, of about 6 to 5 seconds. So, like, Dedication, provided you're getting anything from it, would still be minimal. Blasphemet's Favor would just kind of eat butt stallion buffs, although the frequency of us getting actual melee kills would mean we'd be getting the good orbs, so it's slightly less shit. It'd be good against clearing out barf worms, but Radiance is okay, kind of on par with Rebuke. I just chose to take Rebuke because why not? Yeah, hero points, max crit damage, max status damage, put the remainder in crit chance. Remember that global crit chance here is not only going to help your actual melee, but it's going to help your status effects. So not only do you want to apply Alchemical Agent, you want the dots from Alchemical Agent to also crit, which is why Stabo class feat, Dexterity, and Awe are all great. So, as you can see, I really am screwing myself by not having the rune switches done for that dex bonus on this class, because it would be quite impactful, as would the crit damage boost from the marbles. I should really go out and do those at some point. I can't be fucking bothered. Yeah, Stab-O-Matic in case I need to shoot something like a Soul Cell or Bernadette. Tooth Raider if I want to apply a lot of crossbolts at once. Twisted Delusion for applying Soaked against bosses. Scalawag is what I'm holding. I'm running this this fun enchant for extra spell cooldown and an extra projectile after I throw my hammer. It's not optimal because just action skill start melee is better here, but it's fun, so I do it anyway. Just a random ascended purple ring I got with good stats. Thumb cuffs, only volatile but good stats. You want spell damage with melee substats. Body rune with this is my other source of healing. So if I ever get weak, this helps me recover a little bit, at least get back to health gate. Warp Paradigm, healing passive, but it's not doing much. Although all those things together, this enchant plus body rune plus this, I do survive some things I wouldn't have. This is what I'm looking to replace. Theurge, you could run a Slip and Stun or a Harbinger here to great effect as well. And then Smithy's Ire. I don't have a good Smithy's Ire. I do want a better roll of that. I was promised max level content streamer, didn't even have all the buffs. It just means it's even more difficulty because I don't have all the damage that I could. Hey Sinju, how you doing? That was a pitiful chest. So I want Tyrant's Truce, but I also want Smithy's Ires. I guess we'll do like 2 more of hitting the Armor Bunny. New good, how are you? I'm doing well, doing well. Nice chill morning, not melting for once. And not enjoying just throwing around some hammers. Enchant do you have in Body Rune? The Desperate one. Low health. Low health healing. You don't carry loot lug gear? I do. I don't remember if I have it on this save. I do. I just forget. I just forget. And Bradluck sometimes immediately decides to kill me, so nope. I put it on and it immediately did damage. $6K souls should be good enough for the next DLC. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll be really useful. Found a hammer 4 yet? I'm confused. Am I missing something? Is this a joke? My brain hasn't turned on yet for Holyoke. Go easy on me. Gun Tyrant's Truth. Meh. Meh. Quag Brain. Yeah, it doesn't exist right now. Hellfire. Love to see this. It's just a fun spell. Quag Coffee. I should have more of that. Hammer for triggering dots. Well played. Well played. Is there a spreadsheet or anything for all the enchants you get? Yes! Exclamation point enchants, Roddy. There is a spreadsheet for that. Keep forgetting to put away that butterboom. Got a free frappe for Mickey D's today. Yo. Does that mean their ice cream machine worked? Is that one of the ice cream machine ones? It's been so long since I've gotten anything from McDonald's that I don't remember how anything works. Other than their ice cream machine not working. Ice cream machine separate. I like how you immediately had the answer, Rune. Rune's the only McDonald's employee that's ever fixed an ice cream machine. Bow before him. Bow before his sheer majesty. Keeping it broken. My hammer somehow missed there. Okay. Yesterday I beat King's Fall, which is the final raid I needed to beat, so I could beat every Destiny 1 raid. Hey, congrats. Good job. Remember the days it was hard to melee Banshee? It still is with Ghostblade, unless you do a little interpretive dance first. But yeah. Imagine it's still hard for Cleansing Flames. Doable, though. And Puck says no. Oh yeah, you know, I never changed my ward back. Awkward. Hey Jelly, long time no see, hope you're well. Always good to see the RG bean. And its keeper. That's seriously one of my favorite emotes, and I have no idea why. I am a weird human. She dodged. Hey Glenny, thanks for taking care of Jelly. I appreciate it. 53 in the channel. You know the deal, Jelly. Enjoy the stuff and things. And I hope you've been well.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
Late alert. But okay. Oh, crazy. Thanks for showing love to Quag. Deserves it. Hey, you deserve it too. We all deserve it. Just murdering things with the wrong gear. I mean, the body rune wasn't on during the Banshee fight, so, like, it didn't matter, but the other rooms, yeah. It's like, I guess that proves that I don't necessarily need body rune, I just have to pay more attention to my survivability. What could I run instead, you guys think? To just, like, be weird or interesting. Hey Ritsu, how you doing? Ooh, we could use the counter feint and have it default dance on enemies. More hammers, hammer and anvil. That is a common suggestion. I keep forgetting about that. If we get a good one, I'll put it on. If we get a good one, I'll roll it appropriately, and we'll use that. Oh no, my inventory's full. I didn't prepare for this. Shit. I guess that garlic breath can go. Don't really need that laser hand either. Okay. Absolutely fantastic, good sir. What about you? Doing great. Doing great. It is not, blindingly hot today. Yes, so hot that it also melts your eyeballs. Yeah, it's not that today. So, I'm just considering today a win already. We're just doing some chill farming, trying to improve our hammer yeeting build. Affectionately named Yeet is Murder. Yes, that is what the save's called. And just having a chill Monday. Absolutely raging at the progression of time, though, because it's apparently fucking August. I didn't do anything with the summer. It's August, though. To remind me how fast summer's going, I want to start teaching again in a few weeks. I am sorry. It's when I consider summer to be the time during which my tires are molten. That's a good metric. I mean, Miasmic Mail would be good in this setup too, because it'd improve Alchemical Agent. It's like a free stat. But I'd have to be very picky about what I want. Back when Blast Chill triggered off of Storm Dragon's Judgment, this would have been a maybe. But now, it's trying, but not hard enough. It's actually the government wants you to believe it's actually February. I thought it was March 2020. We just never quite got out of that. Ready to go back, miss my kiddos. I want to see how my kiddos are doing in second grade. Oh. They're lucky to have you, and I'm sure they're great. Man, Shadow Step is such a good skill. Like, when you're mixing in melee with other things, like actual melee tags with other things, because you always get that crit. You just move on to the next enemy, you crit them too. It's basically like having 100% crit chance as long as you vary your attacks enough. March 1056th, 2020. Yes. March 2014, all is nice in the world. I don't remember what I was doing in March 2014. Actually, I do. I'd started a job that I would grow to hate at the end of that month. Yesterday we had weird weather where I'm went from extremely dry to so humid the wooden handrails actually became wet. Ugh. That sounds really unpleasant. Listen to the radio, apparently Mr. Jetson was born today. Yeah, George Jetson was born, yesterday. Yesterday. Not actually, probably. But yeah, the patriarch of the Jetsons family from that classic cartoon. Yesterday, July 31st, 2022. So we can all be old together. We are in the future. We're the cool spaceships. Jeff Bezos has them all. And is hiding them and using the penis-shaped ones instead. Kylie Jenner can have them and Taylor Swift, why not us? Do you guys see how much Taylor Swift fucking flies? She's living up to her name. Yeah, traveling very, swiftly. I'm surprised I haven't been hit doing this. Oh, there it goes. I was like, I'm pretty sure I went through that thing's hitbox like 4 times. Just didn't hit me. Eli's emotes look like me as CZ, so I was under forever. That's stonks right there. I do eventually want to get a version of this build up and running that doesn't Spellblade. Although that would probably involve going back to Paradigm. When I'm trying to switch away from it right now. My emotes and other creators' emotes look similar to me. Easy emotes videos on Twitch. There you go. This class ring's trying really hard. Primordial, melee damage, melee crit chance, melee crit damage. SMG mag size isn't super relevant to what I'm doing, but like... it competes with these thumb cuffs. Loses because of the spell damage, but that's worth picking up. Shimmer loot? Not quite, Lil Rob. Not quite. How you doing? Morning, Manic Geek. Lurking for a bit. Good to have you. I think with the Tooth Raider I can actually skip that properly. In the vein of something Irish said earlier, I do sometimes find my Wyvern just killing things in this build. Like, I don't have any investment into it, it's just able to kill. It's pretty cool. Simply does good damage. Buff Rebuke, you're now more powerful than all Buffmeister's pixies and spell shots. Maybe. Maybe. I said maybe. Set a day for 24-hour stream yet? Not yet, loading screen. I'm currently waiting on finalizing one or two more sponsors for it. That's the current delay. But I've got one sponsor lined up, finalizing a second, and in talks with a third. So I'll be able to give away some cool stuff during the stream. This one's really trying. I want to kind of try out Corrupted Plate Mail on this to see what it's like. This one has 3 awe, 1 nimble fingers, which is, like, good. Oath of Thunder doesn't hurt. But the passives aren't great. I'll pick it up anyway. Not hugely sold. I do kind of find my Wyvern just killing things as you catch it looking at you with puppy dog eyes, looks innocent while its latest victim's head falls off. I would pay to see that drawn. That'd be fantastic. This is a good amnesia. Volatile, melee damage, 3 awe, 2 Oath of Thunder. That's like really good. Hang on, I could totally use that here. I'm buying that. Need to sell some shit, but I'm buying it. I don't need a live wire. I don't really need that Greed Warden either. I think a better one. Yoink. Alright, after this run, I think on the next run we'll pull the Spell Bunny to try and get some better Smithy's Iris. These deals are killing my enemies. Pragmatic. What kind of builds this one? This is my my hammer build that I've named Yeet is Murder. Because you gotta have a shitposty name, or it's not a build. After successfully committing tax evasion, Turnip Boy and his friend played their favorite game together, Amogus. Oh yeah, that Turnip Boy game. Steam has some wild shit. Spell damage roll on this makes this desirable. If this had melee crit chance instead of gun and was a chaos tier, I'd pick it up, but nope. Spell Tyrant's Truth. The magic bullets makes it so confused, though. So, like, the spell damage here isn't the kind that goes into magic bullets, so, like, what is this trying to do? Ascended Blue. Nice. Just highlighting, the redundancy of Arsenal. So this gives you plus 3 points in Arsenal, right? That's 9% gun damage. And then the Ascended passive there is just 49%. So... Arsenal moment. The Stavo's literally just for Alchemical Agent. Also the crit chance for Alchemical Agent. Exploit their weakness is good damage. Nimble Finger is giving us some spell damage, reason that. But yeah, Stabo's pretty much for Alchemical Agent here. Yeah. You're not exactly wrong. What armor are you using? I'm currently using a Warped Paradigm. I'm farming for a Tyrant's Truth, because I want to try that instead. We did just get a good Amnesia for the build that we could try out. But I'm hoping for a Tyrant's Truth, because I want to give that a go on here. Think we're at more Chaos levels? I don't think it's unlikely, but what I think would be the most likely implementation is giving us a few more that don't give us another tier of gear, so that there'd be more difficulty options for people, and for people who are prepared to tackle that challenge, maybe higher ascended rates. Because currently, with Chaos tier drop rates on C50, you have a 49% chance that your shit's not going to be Chaos tiered at all, and your Ascended chance is still less than 1%. So I think maybe more Chaos tiers for more challenge, but also more favorable rates would just go over well. So I don't think that's unlikely. Maybe like another 10 or something. I don't know why the alert bugged out there. But Soccer Chick, thank you so much for the 10 months with the streak. Primordial resub. No, Ascended resub. That is an Ascended resub indeed. Thank you so much, Soccer Chick. Hey, chat, do the thing real quick. Go follow our friend Soccer Chick. Does great things, plays lots of games. Recently had a charity event, raised a bunch of money for a very good cause. and does that kind of thing pretty often. So, wonderful human being, deserves your support and your attention. Cocker chick, yes, affectionately called cocker chick. Because if you've heard of BDE, she has all of it. Oh yeah, I gotta kill these guys. Yep, sock. Hey Amber, how you doing? LeChance, you good, homie? You just took a dive for no reason. I don't know why that was the funniest shit I've seen today. LeChance, you okay? Doing better now that I cleaned up the pile of stuff my cat pissed on. Wasn't very impressed this morning. Oh. I'm sure that was inconvenient. Is your cat okay? Oh, OBS, you good? You good, homie? A slight hiccup. Alright, we're good. It's Monday, leave the chance alone. But he's just helping us get loot. He's just being a good friend, as always. Class you say is good for someone just starting the game. Depends on what your interest is, your preferred play style, and how much you do or don't want to specialize. Rupta. So, are you a player who really likes gun builds? Do you like melee builds? Do you want to spellcast? Do you want to just be able to do a bit of everything? What's your preference? Tried introducing a second cat a few months back. Since then, my cat will just decide this kind of smell like the other cat and piss on stuff. And I think, okay, that's it. I got it all. And then find something else. That's I've had that situation in the past before. Yeah, maybe a bit of everything. I'd recommend going with either Berserker or Spell Shot. Spell Shot has the most spell damage and gun damage, and there's a lot of ways to convert spell damage to apply to other things. So there's that, and Spell Shot's just kind of the uncontested strongest, although, in my opinion, a little less interesting because of that. But Berserker is the specialist. You can do basically anything with Berserker. You're very tanky, you're good at doing all types of damage, you've got a lot of movement speed and good quality of life stuff, like weapon swap speed. So maybe Berserker's up your alley. This is not going to be a good time. Wish you didn't die and lose the run with the mirrors. That'd be a nice quality of life change they could make. Any good ability builds? So, technically speaking, Blast Gasp, Blast Chill, and Spore Fuse are ability damage, so like, those. You can, with extreme investment, get Blizzard and Barrage up to points where they're like, kind of functioning. That was entirely too close. This is gonna suck. And pardon my concentration on the game. I don't want to, like, die here. Is Feodor 4? Yeah. It does require a lot of patience and actually paying attention, so that's why I'm quiet at the moment. Yes, I did just kind of cheese that one because I didn't feel like being patient. Imelda just sucks, yeah. I tricks to do it once on C0 and hope he doesn't show up on 50. It's a cowardice. I mean, that could work. That could work to your advantage. You just make a turn to go for me? That was rude. Oh, ouch. As you can see, there's a lot going on. Now, how much? I'm not exactly sure, but a lot. I'll leave you alive in case I need you. Only one who doesn't hate Imelda. It really depends on what kind of builds you've taken into the fight, Rust. If you've, for example, had a pure melee build that doesn't have, say, Executioner's Blade or a good platform, you know, good formula for Stab-O-Matic, and you don't have like a really good sword explosion on you, then like Imelda sucks. If you're doing something like a dire sacrifice build or any unconventional action skill, Imelda sucks. More traditional stuff, like you got a gun or a laser hand or something, it's fine. But there's some setups where she's just so wildly unpleasant that it leaves a marker. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. Last phase is painful. Hey, Pinky, how you doing? Other news, RuneScape has its claws in me yet again. Can't stop myself from playing. As long as you're enjoying. Have a gun build, still hate the fight. It's the arena, it's too claustrophobic for what she does and puts her too far out of range for too long. No other reason than bad hitbox. Between the bad hitbox and the teleporting, that's most of it for me. That's most of it. The teleporting is really just an extra layer of unpleasantness. It was like a soft immune phase because of it. If we weren't there, claustrophobia, the room would be fine. I agree. I agree. A lot of nightmare today. Not complaining. Didn't mean to take that hit, but alright. I interrupted that attack with delusion again. Enjoy Lurk, Sora. Splintering Ice Spikes. I need to test that out more. I just don't have the inventory space to pick up, like, a bad one. I've heard good things about those. Another thing I was wondering about on this setup is, what if I used an amp Spellblade to make my Stab-O-Matic apply bigger dots? Oh, we can wait this out for a new pool of stuff. Three, two, one. Downgrade. Yeah, it's totally not a bad farming method to just kind of sit in here and wait for these to refresh if you're not actively playing. Hammer hits the crystals. Yeah, it doesn't apply the dot. Huh. You know, that's not the double gun damage roll on Fealty Oath, but like, this really tried. Skulldugger crit's nice. Shots to break could be fun. I really want to get two well-rolled ones of these with like really good shots to break, and then just use it on a rogue imp and treat it like a regular gun. Probably be counterintuitive because you'd get fewer of the birds, but I think it'd be funny. I need to make more inventory room again. I don't need this sword explosion. I have copies elsewhere. We're gonna get rid of this Bradluck too, because it's dangerous to my health. Jostle Break could be good to hold Thunder Anima and Overheat for longer. Like, that's a good point. Thunder Anima. I still have not personally built around that. That's a good point. I've noticed that although Discord has 260 million registered accounts, Quag server does not have 260 million members. I'm not sure if this is being done intentionally or if these friends are forgetting to click join. Either way, I've had enough. I've compiled a spreadsheet with individuals who have forgotten to join Quag server. After 2 consecutive strikes, your name will be flagged. I am notified. 3 consecutive strikes and you can expect an in-person consultation. That has a lot of chaotic, threatening energy, Itsukato. Well done, well done. The air quotes really add to it. Think it's gonna expel damage on lightning bolts? It very briefly did, but then they kind of removed that. It might have come back at some point. I don't know if it's been retested. It's possible, though. I'll have to, mobilize some people and we'll do a deep dive into, Thunder Anima. I'd like a good Smithy's Ire. That's a really bad laser end. Like those parts, the crit damage is fine, but the status chance, no thank you. Status chance, status damage, radius. Just bad parts, laser hands. Oh well, another one. Retested it, doesn't get spell on the bolts anymore. How recently, Sen? Because you know the way they changed it the first time was like very stealthy, so they could have done that again. Just being 100% certain. Another thing to note about why Spellblade's so good here is because Smithy's Ire is a spell that doesn't get spell damage, and Spellblade's a way to indirectly, you know, make it get spell damage. And something about that is very satisfying to me. I don't want to lose that. Definitely not recently enough to be 100% sure. I'd be very surprised if it does. I'd be surprised as well, but I'm surprised that it worked that way in the first place and then was changed, you know? A lot of Dragon Lord today. I guess I'll, Tooth Raider. I missed enough that I lost time there. Oh well. Another thing I want to try out in the vein of this build is, I want to try a version of this that takes Storm Smite. So it's just like a little extra damage every time we hammer throw. It wouldn't be killing things on its own, and we wouldn't really have the investment to make it kill things frequently at all. But it'd be funny to just see it. You more Melda, you stop it, Roddy. Get that evil out of this world. Yeah, that poison attack used to just any non-tanky build, it would just kill you. Now it just kind of doesn't. So bosses are no longer bosses, more like managers or supervisors. Pigwart's the real boss. Boss damage change is interesting. I kind of intentionally get hit by attacks because it tickles and triggers amnesias before I'd avoid them. Yeah, there were some attacks I was already doing that for, but the variety of attacks that I actually go out of my way to avoid, that's gone down. Like, it's not a big deal if you just hang out in Salissa's lingering shock AoE anymore, for example. Dragonlord's Poison Nova is no longer a move or die mechanic. Wastard's Purple Nova is no longer a get the fuck out of range or you die attack. So, I guess for people struggling, that's beneficial. I just do kind of miss that level of threat from bosses, which is why I do hope we get additional chaos levels that do not have gear rewards behind them. Maybe higher ascended chances, sure, but like no more chaos tiers, but yes, more chaos levels. Because I want more enemy damage. Yes, I want enemies to hit harder. That's not a majority opinion, but because that is my personal taste, I think the elective difficulty system could support that. You could simply choose to have that or not to have that. I still have not gotten around to trying Twister post-buff. This build that hasn't done a Melda, I've just been lucky so far. This build's done a Melda. I've just been lucky. I've simply been lucky. You masochist. I like challenging bosses. This is something I was having a discussion with someone in an official server about, because they were a little frustrated with the design of Wonderlands bosses. I imagine they were expecting them to be more like Borderlands bosses, but like that's the reason I like Wonderlands bosses. They're not Borderlands ones. The vast majority of Borderlands bosses just kind of stand there and don't do anything, and their mechanics don't force interaction with the player. Whereas bosses in this game are like, no, you need to do something. You need to participate. And a good way of doing that is having attacks that if you do not conform to the mechanics of said attack, that'll just fucking kill you. I like that. I think bosses should be able to do that. As long as there is appropriate counterplay. And there is. You can avoid pretty much every attack in this game. I can't think of a single instance of unavoidable damage in this game. Much for Wonderlands bosses feels nice after years of MMO raiding. Yeah. The MMO raider in me is really enjoying these bosses. Apologizing now for you getting a Melda of 4 straight runs because I asked the question. It'll happen, Roddy, and I won't forgive you. Twister was buffed and on a couple good ones. Yeah, with DLC 3 release patch, Kirk, they buffed Twister along with it got buffed when Laser Hand and that stuff did. 30%, I think. It's like, I can take multiple of those skulls without even breaking my ward now. That's what the changes to Wastard's damage. Keep in mind, he struggles to hit you, like, even once. His aim is terrible. It's like me-tier aim. I still dodge that out of habit, but I could probably just not. Twister procs Blast Gasp? Yes, Tom Nasty, it does. It does. Wastard aim. In fairness, Wastard does have those bandages wrapped around his face, so I can see why he can't aim well. That's true. That's a good point. I haven't seen how bad my aim is in PvP games. I used to have way better aim. Used to. I can still kind of flick that switch for certain types of games, but I just don't. It's too much effort to be good at video games. Alright, what do we think of chat? Are we gonna get a Smithy's Ire at all today? I would really like one. Because of Smithy's Ire being a spell that isn't a spell, having crit chance or damage parts on it doesn't help it. So I really want spell damage parts to get that raw hit higher. Extra projectiles would be okay as well. That's more individual chances for contagion to happen off of Alchemical Agent, so like that could be good. The one I'm using isn't very good, so keep that in mind. There's plenty of room to upgrade. Instead, we got a bunch of Dazzlers. Damn it. Yes, but it'll be normal rarity. Okay, I'm expecting that on the next run. Anything I can reroll? I haven't been using my Moon Orbs. I guess I could put something on that Butterboom. Okay. It's always the stuff I don't particularly care about that just rolls well instantly. Actually, I wonder about that enchant for this. I've noticed a couple times I want some more duration on my Alchemical Agent dot. Especially if I switch over to Tyrant's Truth, then the Clawbringer Hammer Throw enchant is additive with that. So like 30% is not a small amount, but I think I'd get more out of 20% more dot duration. Because like that could be a lot of extra damage. Maybe we roll this to that. Although that's currently my only source of that melee. Thonking. I can go for it here. It'd affect my spell cooldown negatively, but... Let me do that on this Scalawag, I think. Although then I have difficulty maintaining awe, comparatively. Do I have another copy of that Scalawag in my storage? No, that's Rapscallion. There it is. There it is. Yeah, we could use that. Use this one. Does Queen's Cry proc double knot? It does not. Oddly. It is pure spell. But it doesn't... Like, it doesn't get gun damage at all. But it doesn't proc double knot. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Extra area damage? Huh. That would further justify me not needing area damage on my armor. I'll try this enchant out for a run. See how that goes. Should actually work out to a pretty sizable damage increase. Got that area damage chant on Sword Explosion. I haven't tested it out yet. It's a little awkward with something like this because it's only got a 5-second duration. So I don't frequently get it for my hammer throws themselves because, remember, the throw has to end for me to get it. And the cooldown of hammer is like about 5 seconds. But I think if I used Theurge creatively, I could get the benefit. Ooh, maybe Ancient Hilt would help out here. I could shave chunks of the cooldown off of that as well. Random world drop from an ad. Cool. And it's a sawmill. Barely a legendary. Justice for sawmill. Ooh, thanks, Contagion. Yeah, that was Contagion spread from that first enemy I hit to the boss. Love to see it. Was that a Scalawag? It was a Scalawag. If that had the blade, I'd actually pick that up, because it's got the melee crossbolts. ×2. It tried. Stupid ass boss won't drop me that cloak head in his pool. Oof. We talking about, I remember the legend of the sawmill being good. It took a pretty hard fall from grace. Sawmill is sacrificed for Khan, what a world. It really do be like that. How you doing, Fusion? There can only be one bad sniper. Apparently. Khan really went and killed Sawmill and took its power. Pigwort, the true raid boss. Is Calcon good? Yes. It is just extremely ammo inefficient and requires you to balance quite a few different stats to get it to a point where it feels decent. But its damage output is on the higher end of guns, period. The buff did a lot. Doing well, glad to be out of Pizza Hut's employ. Yesterday's my last day there. Once again, good for you for getting out of a bad situation. Takes a lot, proud of you for doing it. Last time I had Pigwort, Nasty Spill made him own himself as entertaining. Yeah. More Nightmare. I'll take it. Dumped so many crystals to the Spell Bunny, and Saturday the chest gave me a 2-charge spell damage laser hand. Now I have two 7,000 laser hands. That's sick, Kirk. That's so good. 7,000 plus laser hands just absolutely meme so many enemies. Oh, bitrate, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I missed you so. Seems like it's been forever since OBS worked properly. Cookie if you know that song. This amnesia is pretty good. Melee damage, area damage. Burst Stabbo. 2 old ways, 1 squall, 2 follow-up. The follow-up kind of kills this. Honestly, if those 2 had been there or there, I'd have bought this. I'd have sold something to buy that, I should say. Time to enjoy some games and continue the job search. More power to you. Best of luck with it. Gamers, I need help. I cataloged my bank into a spreadsheet this weekend. I mean, that's just flexing, having better motivation to enable your own bad habits, Jaybridge. So, like, that's some Chad behavior. Looking really nice today. Hey, thanks, Dex. I appreciate that. Alright, come on. Good Smithy's Ire. I also want to roll the enchant on it, because my current one, I have spellcast damage dealt, which is, like, good, but I could get that, that status enchant that I was talking about on it. So I think that's the play. Hey, Ember, thank you for the Prime and the 13 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know the deal. Enjoy the perks. The quag chadness.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. There you go, Quack.
It's that time again? Sure is. Thank you, Ember. I think that's more damage. Is that more damage? I'll opt out of that for now. Let me use the rest to roll this Scalawag. I like this enchant, but I'll try to roll it another time, because I don't have the cooldown to have this actually apply to the hammer itself, right? Because action skill end. If it was action skill start, that'd be perfect for this. Action skill end makes it kind of better for the spell, and I don't have the infrastructure for that currently. So let's go back to the other one. My defense had helped me clear like 50 spaces. There you go. I gotta force myself to farm for like a specific item in large quantities again, because that great bow farm helped me clear a lot of spaces as well. Hey Rexy, how you doing? Good to see you. Enjoy your lurk. Appreciate you being here. Wish any of the ×2 Scalawags that drop me would have element. As Jaybird said, Blade kind of matters more. It's nice to have an element under Scalawag, because if you're a Clawbringer, having Fire or Lightning helps you with Awe. If you're a Berserker, having a Cryo one helps you with Icebreaker. And then generally, if neither of those are applicable to you, then like Dark Magic is nice, because it's just going to be some passive healing for you. But like, the Blade is still more impactful overall. Unless you get an absolutely ridiculous amount of regular melee damage, like if you have a lot from your myth rank, for example, then it loses a little bit of value. To the point where maybe having ×3 wins over having ×2 with a Blade. But that's like a very distant point, and I'm not there because my self-imposed myth rank cap. Couple of the Blades, no element. I don't remember offhand, so I figure I'll invite you to test this, but some magic and crossbow barrel weapons, even when they roll non-elemental, aren't actually non-elemental. For example, Fear Knots. Fear Knots can't be truly non-elemental on certain delivery methods. They will be shock instead. For example, if you get a chain lightning bolt, or just regular lightning bolt chuck, on a non-elemental Fear Knot, it's actually still lightning damage. It just uses the base damage of non-elemental, so it's better. I can't remember if that applies to any of the Skulldugger crossbow barrels, but I figure I'd bring it up. Finally bit the bullet and cleaned out like 90% of my non-chaotic armor, saved like 80 slots. I have 5 armor mules and then like 50 armors in my bank. Brendan, I should really do the same. That was a good hit on the chance. Can't believe how much of a difference that Ascended Armor made in my Ghostblade setup, just shredding through everything this weekend. Yeah, the class power itself is just going to boost your raw damage a lot. It's just straight up more damage for the Ghostblade. And then having the good the skills and the passives all adds up. Armor is probably the most impactful gear slot on builds. Would you guys agree with that? And rolled melee all damage? Yeah. More Theodore. We've not gotten any Imelda today, but we are drowning in Theodores. I don't know if I like that or not. Oh, and it's 4 again. I really played this game since the first DLC drop, looking to get back into the new class drops. Hey, I hope it lives up to expectations, Silver Raid. I'm excited to get info about that too. Say you miss Imelda? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how much of an improvement Theodore is in this context, that's all. Guarantee Imelda next run with prediction? Alright. Remind me of the loot room, Roddy. Ouch. You're going this way? Cool. I'm getting better at this fight. At least it feels like it's going a little more cleanly. I'm learning the sightlines better. Alright, this prediction will be for the next run. You guys can gamba on if I'll have more Imelda fun on the next boss run. Double status roll on a Theurge is nice, but non-chaos tiered. Bleh. Bleh. Yeah. My mug's empty. I don't like that. So I think 2 more runs of hitting the spell bunny for Smithies, and then maybe we change up what we're doing. Because I really want a new Smithies Ire with like better raw damage. Because I'm pretty much, because of all the things I'm using to boost up Stormdragon's Judgment, Smithies gets like all the same shit. Ratio getting the love. Should you do intense difficulty progressing through the story, just wait till endgame? That depends on what you like, Ginger Boy. Personal preference, I guess? Yeah. It's worth noting that you will be more on pace with like purchasing your SDUs and stuff on intense, because you just get more money. But other than that, just like whatever is most enjoyable for you. Some people set it to relaxed so that they can just blitz the story more easily. Don't have to worry about staying on level and stuff. It's your preference. Primordial Lovestruck Bow. Cooldown crit chance are good parts to have on it. I guess I'll take that. Completely optional, difficulty's optional? Yeah. And that's why it's good design, in my opinion. Doesn't force you into it to unlock like a piece of gear or anything, right? Should actually probably use that. Okay, so running this does give me a little more wiggle room to not run this. So I can start rolling my spell slot for that that status duration enchant. Now, I know as soon as I get that, I'm going to get the better Smithy's Ire, and I'm going to cry. No idea what the prediction means. Being able to force a ratio is kind of funny. Basically, it's if you vote yes, then you're betting I will see Imelda as one of the 3 bosses in this run. Imelda being the DLC 2 boss, which is just not a very fun boss in all honesty. If you vote no, then I'm not gonna get her in any of these 3 bosses within this run. And then ratio is just if you want to ratio me. And dab on the strimmer, as it were. My allergies are acting up something awful right now. Not enough to sneeze, but enough to want to. My nose is itchy. I don't like this. Oh yeah, that enchant made such a big difference. That's just a lot more damage. OBS, you good, homie? You okay? Yeah, you're fine. I think it's actually on Twitch's side, because I've seen other people having this problem, and they're like as annoyed with it as I am. So I want to run a Cape that ties to my claw, but how about its kill your fire damage? Soaked is plus 50% to fire, or plus 50% to lightning and frost, excuse me, and minus 50 to fire. So, like, it'll hurt your fire as much as it helps the other ones. I personally don't really like Capetides much because you can get soaked in other slots. Like, there's other ways to get it. You can use a Tidebreaker or just switch to a Twisted Delusion. Almost all of my builds keep a Twisted Delusion. And, Capetides has a 6-second cooldown on its effect. So, like, yeah, you can apply Soak to an enemy for critting them once every 6 seconds, which makes it very low uptime in mobbing. Not really any better than using a Delusion. Tidebreaker is the most optimal way of keeping Soaked applied and mobbing. Whereas Delusion is the most optimal way in bossing. And using Tidebreaker or Delusion allows you to have a better armor that doesn't, you know, that just does more damage. I might die here. I don't know what stole my kill there. Today's Nightmare, Dragonlord, and DLC 3 boss day, apparently. Yeah, Nightmare, Dragonlord, Fedor. To mean Ratio wins. Ratio doesn't really ever win. It's just funny. Also, Nightbot being toxic. Banshee. Wow, that really just bounced off her without doing damage. Cool. Storm Dragon's Judgment hitboxes. There we go. Caught her that time. Something, something tight enough to bounce a cord. Amnesia. 4 Arsenal. Good joke. Primordial Lich's Auger with Trigger Happy and Adrenaline. It's trying, but... Actually... No. Because the spell damage and spell crit chance here wouldn't do anything. Come on, Queen, don't let me down. Alright, let's see. Let's see who we got. LeChance. Enjoy, doubters. Yeah, for doubting. If you LeChance, go fall down again. Hey, hey. He's old, and he's all bones. He could break a hip. We don't know how much calcium LeChance has in his diet. Ascended Laser Hand with crit damage, spell charge, and spell damage. What the fuck? Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Okay. Stop cheating. Oh. This is going on. This is going on the Burb app. Yeah, 5,000 dot too. That's nuts. Let me make sure I favorite this so I never accidentally get rid of it. Did I already do that? Oof. That's gross. That is just unnecessarily. Gonna get a Netflix anime based on the world of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm actually really excited to hear that, son. That sounds pretty cool. Is there a release date or anything for that, or is just like confirmation of it being in development? Have your spell for when you get back to spell shot? Yeah. You ought to reuse the anime. Saw the trailer tweet, nothing more. Ooh. I'll have to check that out. Oh, there's supposed to be, Glenny was telling me yesterday, Pokemon trailer today? It would have been like a couple hours ago, I think. But was that a thing that happened? Or did I get my days mixed up? Those are like good parts for the Dynamo, but volatile and like still not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with the Dynamo. So that can stay there. Andor trailer dropped too. I'm excited for Andor. Like, if they actually do some mold breaking shit with that, it could be really cool. Because Rogue One was like real good. If they capture the tone of that, I think Andor would be cool. It's like a long series too, right? Let me just open this up. Save that for later. I have 3 bank spaces. We're gonna put away the laser hand. And the butter boom. Nope. Let's do a feature. Feel doing a feature. Oh, connection. You good? You good? Yeah, you're good. Early Rebellion time periods where I want more. And Rogue One did an interesting job with painting the, generic good guys as like, everybody's flawed. I enjoyed that bit. Speaking of bit, I'm totally not stalling for my bitrate to come back from that hiccup. It gives me time to think about this. So like, the radius parts here are minor, so they're basically not doing anything, and the crit damage part here is actually not doing a single thing. So I have one of the worst possible rolls for Smithy's Ire. This is why I'm rolling for a better one. I think ideally, extra projectile spell cooldown, spell damage on like a Primordial Plus would be my go-to. Gotta do evil shit sometimes to defeat a greater evil. Yeah, unfortunately that's often true in these kinds of stories. It definitely adds depth to the characters that otherwise wouldn't be there. Time for Heroes, often a messy one. Something something Homelander. Still haven't watched The Boys. Don't hate me. It's on the list. It's on the list. Maybe I should take a page from Valentine and call it Morally Gray. Primordial Petty Tantrum with a vampire. If I was going to use a Petty Tantrum, I guess it'd be that one. Let's try and get some actual meaningful crystal yields from here. So I'll do that. Wow, that was not a direct path you just took. Okay. Hate commencing. Oh. Understandable. Game? Why are you, like, suddenly running like shit? Okay. That's fine. Love ending? Show you a love ending. I don't know what I mean by that. But it sounds dirty. Happy ending, I guess. That would be the logical conclusion. Oh yeah, this one's Sacred Ground. Where even are the Sacred Ground swans on this map? Can I get this quartz without contagion fucking me over? Can. Shrug. Nullify or roguelite? Guess we'll go nullify here. I should check out the alternate curse route for this. Because I do not know it offhand. This skull isn't there. Alright, farm Clawbringer upgrades when you use the upgrade any class all along. Hey Grumpy, how you doing? Grumpy, we got a actual god roll ascended laser hand today. So not an upgrade for this build, but we got an upgrade to a build. Saw the tweet? Yeah, it's my RNG for the month, just gone. Ah, hammer bug. Where's Barrel? Kill me. Thank you. Yeah, first day of the month, my luck's gone. Any health vials anywhere? No? Okay. Nerf barrel. So I just play the lottery instead. I should have. Just paid out, what, that 1 billion in Illinois? I should have. I still read party time as pizza time sometimes. I guess that means I'm cultured. 1 in blindly matched calculator. 659 quadrillion chance. Pog. Oh, that's unfortunate timing. All the food for Fire Friend. I'm good friend. Make sure Fire Friend is good and stuffed. Maximum chonkers. Also read his pizza time. And the fuck figured out you make Discord videos play super small. They'll only be used malicious. With part-time in effect, you get some good cash and crystals from these baby blooms. Ooh, yeah, that's good to know, because it's just crit kill is the only stipulation there, right? That is a good thing to point out. I am critting a lot. Eventually, eluding all these is going to catch up with me. Like, this build has not done this before. I have not done an all-elite featured of this. I don't think I've even done the featured on this build yet. So, directly into the fire.